This is Wendy Alane Wright. I am the Hollywood Talent Manager, and I'm here today speaking with Elle Rae Morris, who is a working actress and just the most adorable. Elle, how are you?
I'm so great. What about you, Wendy?
I'm down in San Diego enjoying myself, and I think my puppy's behind me having a Fim Fim. Fim's weird. She's got hotel life.
It's a very tough life.
Yeah, she's got a great life. So I've been watching you for quite some time now, watching you build your acting career. And you came from Texas out to LA. You finally made that big move. How's it feel?
It's still, I've been here almost 6 months and it still almost doesn't feel like I'm here. I'll be walking my dog or doing something. And I'm like, this is my life. I forget sometimes that I'm here and that I'm not, back in Texas on the ranch, and then I hear a siren. I'm like, okay, that's not a cow mooing.
Well, you wanted to be in LA and Hollywood, living your dreams, and you're out here doing it, and you booking a whole bunch of, you sent me a text the other day that you booked 2 feature films.
Yes.
And when you told me who was in them, I thought, oh my God, you're really just killing it out here. Those are huge.
Yeah. I'm very fortunate that I came into acting almost exactly 2 years ago as of this month. And I was very fortunate that I found you the minute I was like Googling how to be an actor. And I found you, right on YouTube. And then I joined HWC literally that month. So I never, I guess, experienced the confusion a lot of new actors have and the years and money they spend being duped or just going in the wrong direction. And the thing about this industry is, you have to surround yourself by the right people and make the connections, because if they don't know you, they can't hire you. Yeah. And the 2 feature films I just booked, I'm very fortunate that, one of them was a connection that I made through walking dogs, literally just walking dogs. And, you never know who you're going to meet in this town. And that's something that's huge.
Yeah, it's all about relationships. And I love what you just said, that, you didn't make this, you didn't have those years of walking around not knowing what you're doing. So I wish that I could get every actor from the beginning, the minute they start thinking about, okay, I'm really ready to start becoming a professional actor. Well, God, let me get you right then, because then we can do all the right things right off the bat. And you see how quickly it goes. I mean, it's been 2 years and you have an incredible Actors Access package. You have great headshots. You've booked over 15 films. I think you've done some web series. A lot of your films are on Lifetime, Netflix, Amazon. You've been training with the best of the best, because you've really been taking this program to heart and doing exactly what, not just me, but HWC has a lot of other coaches that teach, and working actors who know what they're doing, coming in saying, this is what I did, this is what you should do. And if you listen to that over and over and over, you start to see a pattern of what works and what doesn't.
Yes.
And some people take that information and make it, and they run with it, they apply it. And you have done that. You trained with Ivana Chubbuck, Holly Gagnier, Jessica Hood, James Ciccone. I mean, you're training with the best of the best. You're doing workshops with casting directors. And you've met a lot of great ones.
Yes, I've done.
You're doing everything right.
I've been doing a lot. I'm really lucky. Of course, during COVID, I think it blindsided a lot of actors because they were so used to doing things one way, and then suddenly everything is not in person anymore, and it threw a lot of people for a loop. Versus, I was only exploring how to be an actor for 2 months or so before the world shut everything down. So I feel like in a way that I'm fortunate, because I wasn't overly used to the original way of doing things, that I didn't have to adjust so much.
Yeah. That makes so much sense. It's all about perspective. You came into a time where it was basically everything was online.
Yeah. Yeah. So it afforded me the opportunity to be training with the best people on a ranch in the middle of nowhere in Texas.
That's amazing. What was the latest thing? Well, let me ask you a question. What is it you love about acting?
I've always been a huge bookworm. I was always that kind of weird kid that was just like buried in a book all day. I didn't have a lot of friends because I was just painfully shy. And what I love about acting is I get to take what someone else wrote, something that is completely intangible and there's no voice to it outside of the written word, and I get to make it real.
Wow.
I get to take someone's story and bring it to life. Yeah. And that is, to me, it's as close to magic as we can get.
I love that. What do you love about being on the set?
The energy. It's almost like being caught in a beehive, because everyone is just running around in different directions. Everyone is just this perfect piece to a giant puzzle. And it's a team, and everyone is just laser focused, and it's a family. I was on set recently, and one of the actors was sort of running over my line a little bit. And the woman who's, she's big soap, royalty star. And she turns to me and she says, "Girl, stick up for yourself. Lines are hard to come by. Stand up for yourself."
Yes.
And, even at different levels, you just always see that camaraderie. And that's just so special.
That is so special. What was one of your favorite projects that you shot so far?
I was just recently, I'm allowed to say this, I was just recently shooting a guest star role on The Bay, which is a 4-time Emmy winning, and I think they had like 57 something nominations. Huge. Yes. And that was really cool because it was so unique as a production, because they have a fairly small team, behind them. And, you'd see someone who's, has one role in crew or in production, but they also have like this random recurring role where they're actually acting. So it's really funny because everyone is sort of pulling double duty to make something really amazing. And it was just one of those sets where you learned so much, not just as an actor, but I also had the opportunity to do some PA work with them. And I'm a firm believer that you learn something if you allow yourself to everywhere you go. And as an actor, it is so valuable to understand how set works from a crew perspective, because there's a lot you just can't learn just acting that translates into your career as an actor.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's kind of like that show, and they're really doing so great, winning all these awards. They have an all hands on deck policy.
For sure.
So
there's no one standing around.
It's so collaborative. I absolutely love it. You came from the theater.
Yes.
And you were doing theater in Texas?
So Texas and Maine. I actually grew up in Maine. My family moved there. My dad was in the military, and we got out when I was fairly young. So I grew up in Maine until I got done college, and then I moved to Texas. And so I've been doing theater since I was, as my mom would say, knee high to a grasshopper. And so I kind of took a hiatus in high school because we only did musicals at high school, and no one wants to hear me sing. So I didn't do a lot in high school. And then, kind of went through life doing all the things you're supposed to do, and realized how much I missed it. And I got back into it.
Did you always know when you were a kid that you were going to grow up and be an actor in TV and film?
No. When I was little, I might've been 8 or 9 or something. And those advertisements where it's like, be discovered, and it always turns out to be a scam, like 99% of the time.
Yep.
And I made my mom bring me to that. And of course it turned out to be one of those where you had to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for classes and all this stuff. And I was in Maine, I was a farm girl. We had no idea how this business worked. And we didn't fall prey to that scam because my mom's like, we're not paying that.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just, did the normal thing of just going to college and working in corporate jobs and riding horses, just, doing that. But it was always something in the back of my mind I was interested in terms of, acting, but I had no idea how to do it. And started this job, and this girl I became friends with her. Looking back now, knowing what I know, I think her husband was a background actor. But I was like, oh, that sounds really fun. And she, kind of directed me towards a local acting class he was a part of. And that's when I found you, because I was Googling how to be an actor. And if you had told me, I saw my Facebook memory from 3 years ago, when I was rodeoing hardcore, and it basically said, I'm never leaving Texas, blah, blah, blah. And if you had told me then that I'd be living in LA acting, I wouldn't have believed you.
That's really interesting. It's amazing what can actually happen in life. I mean, like any amazing thing is possible.
Yeah. And it's true, because, sometimes you get so laser focused on what you've been telling yourself that you've wanted your whole life, that you almost think it's a failure when your dreams change and shift, without realizing that part of being human is that your wants and dreams and hopes and aspirations are always going to be changing as you change. And so you just have to allow yourself to be open to the possibility that what you wanted a few years ago may be different. And it's led me to this amazing path where I'm acting and meeting so many amazing people that never would have happened if I had stayed rigid, stayed in my lane, and gone with the status quo.
One of the things is that there's a lot of people that take Hollywood Winner Circle course, and there are a lot of people that still think that they can do it without it. And I mean, you can, some people can figure it out without it, and they might, but for what I've noticed, the majority of people that take the course, they get where they want to go much faster than if they tried to do it without it. And do you feel like it's been an easy, like the path of what you need to do has been clearly mapped out in front of you?
Absolutely. Like I said in the beginning, I never was an actor without HWC. It was always there. And
wow, so you really wouldn't know what that's like to be without it.
Yeah. I mean, but the best way I can describe it is I'm a huge fan of, motivational podcasts. And there's this podcast that this one particular one, it's on my saved Spotify, where it compares two people looking to achieve their goal. And one person has their end destination programmed into that GPS. They have a plan. They know exactly where they are going, and they know when they're going to get there. The other person has no idea where they're going. No GPS. They're just kind of blindly taking turns. Who do you think is going to get there faster? Wow. One might not get there at all. And that's what having HWC is. It's a GPS roadmap that if you follow it, you can be successful, but it's not enough just to have it. You actually have to do the work involved.
What are some of the positive thoughts that you have that you live by? Like some of the statements that you live by that shape you?
One of my most favorite is anytime something feels bleak, like something is not going to work out, I always tell myself, I've been successful my whole life. Nothing has not worked out. I've been successful my whole life. So why would this be any different? If you expect yourself to fail, you're going to fail.
Yeah. It's kind of like living without, you don't even put the possibility of failing on the table.
Yes, exactly. And, with this industry, there's a lot of uncertainty. You're told no a lot. So you just have to let it slide off your shoulders. I mean, there's this one song that I love that's like, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, all right. And that's sort of what you just got to tell yourself, because you're going to get told no a lot more than you're going to get told yes. But if you let it get you down, you're done. So you just got to, be positive, only worry about what you can control, and, be the most prepared person in the room.
Wow, Elle, you're phenomenal.
Oh,
I really love it. Yeah, thanks for being here today. I'm going to just want to say, follow you on social media. How can people follow you on your social media and support your journey?
Yeah. So all my social handles are basically the same. It's Elle Rae Morris, which on Instagram, there's a 1 at the end. Someone took my name.
Oh, how dare they?
I know. So, but yeah, all of my social handles are exactly the same throughout the board. If you just type in Elle Rae Morris, with a 1 on Insta, and then just Elle Rae Morris on everything else, you'll find me. Share everything from bookings to films that I've done, premieres, and just regular insight into my life, mostly pictures of my dog. I highly recommend Hollywood Winter Circle Academy.